The final countdown begins. It was in fact 11 years to the day that Virat Kohli lifted the Under-19 World Cup, and his quest to pick a team that can replicate the same later on in England this summer, well, that begins right now. Just 5 matches remain for Captain Kohli to discuss as we begin the World Cup countdown with the men in blue. Let's find out what's on the show. A new campaign for the World Cup means the men in blue have a new look. How will they look to get the winning momentum back from Australia? We had a look at the team as we follow the Blues. And remember, we will continue to follow your heroes, follow the Blues throughout this ODI series. Speaking of heroes, 2 of them in our studio right now, 2 openers extraordinaire who know exactly what it takes to prepare for a winning World Cup campaign. Sunny G and Haydos joining us. And Sunny G, that's what it's all about. 5 matches, final 5 to get everything right.
Yes, and I think that's
the agenda. Everyone has agendas. We know what the men in blue's agenda is, but I'm going to hand you over to Jatin because he's got VVS Lakshman and Gotti with him who have their own agendas when it comes to this World Cup squad. Thanks so much, Jatin. Yes, the hard work begins now. Now, speaking about this one day, teams winning the toss have usually elected to bat first. Let's find out what conditions will be like. Our Bajaj Motorcycles pitch report. When it comes to India's batting, the focus is going to be on the hometown boy, Mayanti. Can he really solidify that number 4 slot? He is our Dream 11 player to watch out for.
Thank you.
Smart little smile on his face over there. Mayanti as a number 4. Now let's go to Sunny because Sunny, look, you've got a lot of contenders for that middle order as well.
For the World Cup.
Similarly, Australia's middle order, Glenn Maxwell has done his case no harm. There's so much chat about moving him up the order as well. The coach has got slightly different ideas, but I mean, what is Glenn Maxwell best suited for in this format? Well, now it's not just because Sunny G is standing here that Haydos' cage is rattled. For some reason today, a cap presentation made him so nervous.
Yeah. Well,
Sonny, you've presented a few caps in life. He did an all right job, didn't he?
Well, yeah, I think, what happens is,
there was a time, ladies and gentlemen, where Australia didn't get rattled too much. They were pretty much on top of the world. But once upon a time, back in 1998, they were hit by a storm. And at the eye of that storm was Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. That's something we'll continue to do throughout the series as well. Just take you back in time, tell you stories that makes you remember all these great moments between these 2 nations. Now a campaign begins for Team India. 5 matches to go to get their World Cup combination begins right now in Hyderabad. In fact, we're going to take a breather. When we come back, we will have the toss with the 2 captains out there. He knows that these are those last 5 matches to kind of just figure out that all-rounder spot is crucial. Yes, of course, Hardik Pandya is your main man, but with injuries, Vijay Shankar's put in a good toss or so, but what would Australia rather do if they win the toss?
Yeah, I think they'd probably rather sort of total that they can chase down.
Well, I tell you what, it is exciting, isn't it? The T20s have put this context up beautifully. Both teams with very different agendas, if I can borrow that word from Haydos. Let's hand you over now to the toss. Thank you so much for that. So clearly, Matthew Hayden, your team really listens to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Virat does, clearly. So I've got a pipeline to him, but not for Fishy.
That's right. We will discuss the teams in detail later, but Jadeja getting in fact, great opportunity for Jadeja.
Yes, and I think the limited opportunities that he's...
That is where he gets a shot to really do that, isn't it? In fact, I had an opportunity to just discover the vibe of the city, the cricket history in our Maruti Suzuki Cricket Diaries. I'm so excited to be back here in Hyderabad where you can really feel the love for the game. After all, this is where VVS Lakshman became very, very special. This is where Mithali Raj learned her trade to become the top run getter in women's ODI cricket. So let's go speak to some people who saw these stars become superstars. Third team ever to win the Ranji Trophy all the way back in the 1937-38 season. And over the years, they produced players like a Mohammad Azharuddin who had wrists of magic, or the steeped resilience of someone like a VVS Lakshman. A city like Hyderabad is steeped in cricketing history.
Why was it part?
Earlier
So exciting for me to discover another chapter in Hyderabad's cricket history, and one more will be scripted today as the men in blue take on Australia. First. Now we're going to take a quick breather here, but we've got a great plan for you throughout the day on Nerala Cricket Live. In our mid-show, we will look back to what has been 11 years since Virat Kohli lifted the Under-19 World Cup as a captain. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So we'll get a chance to see Australia bat first, which means we might see the big show, Glenn Maxwell, who single-handedly took away the T20 series from Team India. So how do you stop him? Akash Chopra has a game plan. Akash, now it's time for my favorite part of the show when we put our analysts on the spot, our Engage Sports predictions. Let's put him on the spot now. Prediction time in this battle, this face-off that we anticipate right at the top between Boom Boom Bumrah and Aaron Finch, who's been under a little bit of pressure now. Who's winning this battle? It'll be a really exciting battle to see as well, because you've got a man who's under a little bit of pressure with a point to prove. He knows, you've got a debutant coming in later on as well. But let's not forget, not just Bumrah, Shami's back. Shami's back to make a mission.
Yes, and it's not going to be easy for the Australian opening batsman with the kind of...
Better words can be said by someone who's been in those situations and battled those sort of situations. Look, in our mid-show today on Nerala Cricket Live, we'll take you back more than a decade ago when Virat Kohli
whether it's a bowler, as a batsman, with their skill and with their temper.
I tell you what, that countdown begins now, which is what we look forward to. I will get Hados out of this sun, out of this swelter, and we will see you later on. Thanks so much for joining us here on Nerala Cricket Live. It is a little bit of a below par total when you look at the average score, batting first, but Team India's bowlers certainly did consolidate. Let's just have a look at the fall of wickets. I do have Matthew Hayden and Sunil Gavaskar besides me. Early on at the top.
Slow men tonight. Probably also Jadeja as well was underrated. He didn't take a wicket, but he was so key in actually keeping scoring rate down, putting enormous pressure on Australian batting lineup.
I just have got to bring in Kedar Jadhav here. We talk about him so much. We have a little bit of fun with it, with the action. We call him the man with the golden arm. But look, the wickets that he's getting are top order batsman, middle order batsman, and he's breaking partnerships. It's not luck anymore, is it?
No, of course not. I mean, he's working very hard at his bowling. He's mainly known as a batsman. He doesn't get too many opportunities in the strong are getting the early wickets. They're getting the early batsmen out. So very seldom has Kedar Jadhav had to bowl when the opposition consolidate. But that is where the field restrictions are such that you can actually, with only 4 fielders outside the circle, maybe you should look to accelerate a little bit more.
Clearly, it's something that he's worked on, because Hadas, have a look at this. Have a look at his release points. Okay, yes, we have spoken about the action as well. It might not be a situation where,
lots of areas where you can potentially score. So
at least pick singles. The thing is, there's so many dot balls. I'm not saying that he should be crashed for boundaries, because, big boundaries.
Perhaps worry about a man who has a bit of a mission on his hand to earn that boarding pass for England, maybe as a third seamer, Car's 24 player of the innings, Mohammad Shami. Point as well, just the way that you've handled someone like Mohammad Shami, given him enough chances, given him enough rest, so he still has that hunger that he's nurtured quite a bit, and every opportunity he's been given. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us. Thanks so much for staying with us. So 237 was what Team India need to go one up in this 5-match ODI series. 5 matches for Virat Kohli to refine his World Cup squad. But 11 years to the day is when young Virat Kohli, as an under-19 captain, lifted the World Cup. 11 years to the day. The one thing that hasn't changed, Sunny Ji, is a celebration.
Yes.
But what has changed is the man, the mission.
Yes, and it's obvious.
You two gentlemen know it best, what it takes to build a legacy, to be world beaters at a stage. And for Virat Kohli, as he mentioned it now, with just the World Cup a few weeks away, really, to continue to build that legacy. Let's have a look at what Virat Kohli's checklist would be heading into new look. It's a new campaign. Every team in the world is looking forward to a tournament like this. So tell us from your perspective, Hados, you followed this team, you've been commenting on India matches, you've seen this rise in a sense. What does Virat Kohli need? What is his checklist now? Or the few Jadeja, Vijay Shankar? I mean, that seems to be a spot that Team India will use these ODIs for.
Definitely will, because Hardik can.
The other the other real spot is because it's something we've discussed for India for so long. You know, who was the number 4? India had this revolving chairs, and then Ambati Raidu had this great run. You've got KL Rahul, you've got Rishabh Pant. You've even now got thoughts that Virat Kohli should be number 4. So that again seems to be a question that maybe Team India want to answer.
And you can only
think of it, but I tell you what, we're talking about World Cups. Once upon a time, India were destined to win the World Cup, but en route to that cup, arch rivals Australia were in the way. Against your demons, a few faces remain. Some personnel has changed from that 2011 World Cup team, but the idea remains the same. Banish your demons in a sense. Right, Sunny Ji, you as well. I found one of the most regal places that you can in Hyderabad. Have a look in our Paytm City Diaries. They call Hyderabad the city of Nizams, and today I will get the royal treatment. Welcome to the Taj Faluk Numa Palace, where we will explore the legacy of Hyderabad. This is one of the formal dining areas, and look at this beautiful table. I can assure you it's longer than 22 yards. But I've heard a rumor that if you stand on this end of the table, the person at the other end can hear you clearly. Hey Mayanti, what's so special about this table? Well Mayanti, this table can seat 101 people. It's like 101, not out. Thank you.
Very good evening. Welcome to the Jade Terrace.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate being here on the Jade Terrace, just an extension of the Jade Room where the Nizam kept his collection, and every evening he would gather here because it's such a beautiful view of the city, and when the sun would go down, you would have a chance to see all the lights come up and it would look like jewels and pearls, which is why Hyderabad is known as the city of pearls. Well, I've had such an extraordinary day at the Faluk Numa Palace that I want something to remember this day by. What better than a pearl from Hyderabad? So that's exactly what I'm going to look at. Hello, sir. How are you? Wow, there you go. There are all the pearls. Choices, choices. Okay, I love that one, and it's 3,100. So can I use Paytm to pay for this? Okay. Gonna scan the QR code. There we go, and use the UPI link bank account. Thank you, sir. There you go, 3,100, and it's all mine. Gifts for everyone. It was a company who
I was asking.
The credit card was just going whooshka.
Well, that's it. I mean, what about a tie?
It's easy for
what
us.
What about
Sonny.
a tie?
Next time, Sonny, maybe.
I just feel sorry for Stu because, I mean, Madam here is just getting all blinged up on his account.
Enjoying the regality and royalty without him.
On company account, she said.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Stewie's company account.
No, Star.
Star putting it up. Hey, we don't mind,
Of
but
course
you know,
not.
we have so much fun on tour. We really enjoy every city we go to, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a game on. There is a second innings to be played. Now, it isn't the biggest total for Team India to be chasing, but this is a top 3 that is so settled. They're averaging 60. I mean, how do you put pressure on this top 3 is a real question.
Well, Australia new ball bowling for them to win.
Ace in the cards could be someone like Jason Behrendorff. He's got good numbers against Rohit Sharma. That is an angle that is actually troubled. It's an angle that's troubled Indian openers quite a bit of late.
Yeah, the fast.
See, but just in terms of opportunity, are you looking to shuffle that batting order, India's batting order a little
Nope, not at all. No.
A little bit bigger.
Oh, I'm always smiling, mate. Especially when I know that you've.
Jadhav said he is happy with his bowling. He's kind of downplayed it. I said he'd be quite ecstatic as well because he has played that all-rounder. Let's have a look at what happened today. Look, it wasn't the biggest of chases really from Team India. joined us as well on Nerula Cricket Live. Kedar Jadhav, that 100-run partnership, his Haydos and I were speaking about how well they've started complementing each other. But the real question I wanted to ask is one thing that you're looking for when you're a captain. So you were asking the numbers, 54 matches that he's played for India. India have won 44 out of those 54 matches.
Yeah, and look, I think it's because
something different to the table. Sunny G mentioned his action. We discussed it in our mid-show, and I mean, I'll say it again. When you look at those numbers, you look at the wickets that he's picked up, he is picking up top order wickets. These are top order batsmen and maybe like middle order batsmen that are getting dismissed to him.